Hey, what's going on everyone? Jake here from Team Epiphany, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a backdrop on the video before it starts. So we had the awesome opportunity to travel to New York City where the Division actually happens, and this video that you're about to see is a kind of Q&A slash chill gameplay session that we got to do with a developer. The developers flew in from Sweden and they were super awesome, great guys, and we got to talk to them a little bit about the Division. So if you had some questions, I hope I was able to ask some of the good stuff. Obviously, he wasn't able to answer everything, but what I will say is pay attention to the way that he does answer some of the harder questions, because it kind of gives you some ideas to if he's basically saying yes. But without further ado, enjoy the video, and we're going to have some more awesome exclusive Division content coming to all you guys. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button.
Do you have any info on how the crafting system works? Or is that...
No, I can say a little bit about it, that when you progress with missions will unlock like craftable items, which once you've picked up the resources become available through the boo. Like when you start kitting out the boo, you can unlock different parts of the wing, which give you opportunity to craft different items or more advanced items.
Okay.
And later missions in the game give you like better crafting blueprints, which are used for that.
Would you recommend to sell old items or decompose or whatever it is called?
There's definitely a balancing act with it. Kind of depends how much you've picked up really, but personally I prefer to sell it really. The lure of crafting is really good, but I kind of just like to sell and buy and keep my money high in case something nice comes along. Like lots of the vendors, it keeps rotating around, so if you shop around quite a lot you can pick up some really good items. So that's just personal preference really. That's what I prefer to do. But you might have noticed the weapon switching is different in this build compared to the beta.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the beta is definitely an improvement, and that's the sort of things we've been doing as we go along. People playing this and the beta has sort of proved that we needed to change it, so that's what we've been concentrating on.
Did you guys find anything from the beta in terms of the PvP content that you didn't really anticipate beforehand and maybe want to change, or the player interaction, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it was quite interesting that we played it a lot in the office to test it ourselves, and we found that we are very similar to the public at the same time. So not much change, but it's just great to see the interactions. It was actually a lot more friendly than we expected.
Yeah, I noticed that too when I was playing the beta.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be friendly full game.
No.
when your stuff actually counts, it's not gonna be friendly. I think it's mostly because it was a beta.
Yeah.
And the gear that you get, you really don't get to keep, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I kind of went into it thinking like it's gonna be like DayZ or something, and then I was like really surprised. Everyone's just kind of working together.
Well, I always thought I wouldn't be a rogue character, but when I was playing it with friends and we saw like one guy with a like loot back underneath him, we all was instantly like, yeah, I think we can take this guy. And yeah, it turned into terrible people, to be honest, but it was good fun. But it was quite strange. We were doing a Twitch channel over the weekend, and we told people we were doing the Twitch channel, and then they found us, and then they just grouped around us and like ran with us for the whole game while we were playing it.
That's awesome.
And protected us when we were looting and stuff, extracting I should say. But we had some people deliberately hunting us as well, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, we definitely hope to develop the Dark Zone a lot more, but at the moment it's just a great test to see how people interact with each other. And
I found with the rogue system it really made it so you kind of didn't necessarily want to do PvP as much, which was I guess good and bad to some degree.
Yeah, we've tried to focus to make sure like people can't really grief you, so you never want to go in there, but with the nature of it, it's always going to be a hard battle to fight. Really.
Are you guys gonna do any, for lack of a better word, like raids or dungeon style things that you can, you know, like PvE content, that type of thing?
I'm afraid that's not something I can spoil right now, so it'd be a question for one of the interviews with like the directors. They can give you the information you need.
Okay.
But yeah, we definitely have some interesting content coming up in the future, but it's not something I can go into right now, unfortunately. You guys feel like we've captured like the feeling of New York?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I got here last night and I feel eerily comfortable here because I feel quite familiar with it, even though it's the first time here. It's really weird.
Candle and her staff are still upstairs.
Know all the
Staff's in
streets and
kitchen
everything.
at Kobe.
Yeah.
I really loved it too because I was playing on PC and like the graphics are just amazing on that.
Not too much longer.
Well, I kind of felt like the grenade placement's a little unnatural,
Okay.
where you have to hit the left on the D-pad first.
Yes.
I'm assuming a lot of people have said that in terms of feedback.
Yeah, we have internally discussed it quite a lot, actually. I'm not sure the reason why it ended up like it did. But yeah, we have discussed that, but there was a lot of reasons for it to stay where it is. But yeah, I agree. It feels a bit like the recent Metal Gear as well with our throwing arc, but it kind of hopes that you're a bit more prompt with it. You just get a grenade, throw it, and you don't like, stay there too long.
Like traditionally.
Yeah, we might not have picked up many yet, but right on the D-pad we've also got like consumables that give you benefits like extra damage against elites and explosive rounds.
There used to be plenty of sick people being
Yeah, as you progress through these events, it's always worth having a look around every corner, or just every opportunity to see if we've stashed loot.
Yeah.
It's one thing we had like a good ethos to do is place loot containers everywhere.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
To be honest, we had to restrict the amount we put in. I think we put too many in to start with, and it took the lure away from them.
You know of any cool Easter eggs?
Yeah, I do actually. There's one that I put in myself was I don't know if you're familiar with the Shaun of the Dead trilogy, the Cornetto trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Always loved the scene with the shortcuts. So we have like, I don't know if you're familiar with Echoes. It's like it shows you like what happened previously, just a bit of history about the situation. And we've got one of a guy taking a shortcut and crashing through a fence, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's in the beta, and people have found it already. So I'm really happy with that actually.
Yeah.
But with New York being such an iconic place and loads of films and that, we've put in quite a few Easter eggs, so I won't spoil them. Some are definitely a bit more subtle than others. Hopefully they'll all get found.
When you guys, or when we were at least listening to the panel, that you guys were saying that you tried to put a lot of like iconic places, but some weren't allowed in the game. Do you know what any of those were? Or?
I don't off the top of my head. It's normally that was always run by through art and stuff, but yeah, we have a few legal issues that, like for certain iconic buildings and stuff that we weren't allowed to use, but for most Easter eggs we have to get them verified.
Yeah, I assume you can't just throw them in there.
No. There's a certain criteria you've got to hit. They can't quite match everything. But all that gets vetted. We have like a team that does that, which is kind of cool.
As far as the loot system goes, do you know what the like tiered levels are?
Like color-coded wise, you mean?
Yeah, like do you guys have like how many like I know there's I think like blue and then purple and then gold was I think the best in beta. I don't know.
Yeah, gold is the top one, but there's some other content after that that I'm afraid I can't tell you at the moment.
Okay.
But we do keep progressing beyond that point, so that's not the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rainbow.
that's Gold's the top dog at the moment.
And is everything gonna be like you have to get it in a drop, or are you gonna have some content there's like advanced multiple things you have to complete?
Most will be drops, but most will be from
Yeah,
events, and
I don't know.
some of it is from
does.
craftable items that you can only get through crafting. But there are also drops from like specific events. They're not necessarily be random ones, but you normally have to complete a challenge to unlock those. But that's another thing I can't quite go into at the moment.
All good.
I do apologise about that.
No worries. You guys have some like Ubisoft employee loot? Like Epic Gear?
No comments.
Flaming guns.
Like kind of like the Bungie flaming skull thing.
Exactly.
Right. So like most events, we've tried to incorporate like, multiple approaches so you can split up, take a side each, or play like long range and short range, so we can either split up here or all just go the same way.
Cool.
But we always try and have like about 3 access routes, so we try and cater for everyone, every playing style.
You guys making this game like under the
Alpha escort. We have an
the
agent on
Tom
the roof.
Clancy
Candle made it to your
kind of
position.
like name? What did you guys have to change to kind of like adhere to that? Because it seems like it could almost be like a standalone.
Yeah, it was good to like have it in that universe, the Tom Clancy universe, but it means we had to stick to quite realistic goals. Just because it's a realistic environment, we
Yeah.
didn't push like the shade tech too far. We tried to keep it like feasible or realistic. At first, you nearly consider it as a limitation, but then it kind of makes sure we can focus it, and then we don't get too carried away, and we tend to have better use of like the abilities we're using and working towards.
Yeah, I really like that aspect of it. Like super realistic, grounded.
Yeah, when just before I first started on the project, when they told me like the idea of the game, I was just sold straight away. I was just like, yeah, I want to work on this no matter what.
That's awesome. And you guys, like, this was announced a while ago, right? Like,
Yeah,
E3.
yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah, it was before. I think it was like half a year before I started on it.
Oh wow. Has it just been like constant work on it, or was there like a lot of shifts in development?
It's generally been constant, but as we improve like the tech and we're discovering like better ways of working with the Xbox and the PS4 and the PC builds, stuff just keeps changing and evolving. And
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys have, is this the first time that new engine's being used?
it is actually, yeah, which is it's kind of been a rites of passage with it, and it necessarily hasn't made life easy, but it's been good that we've developed the engine at the same time and
Yeah.
hated it for it.
Well, it came out like awesome. Is there some like key things with the new engine that is, you know, that you wouldn't have in any other game? Like the main changes?
Yeah, it's hard to say when, from my point of view, the tools that I use are like really, really friendly compared to other editors I've used. The way we can work together with art and level design is pretty seamless, really. Like we never step on each other's toes. We can work on the same area freely without worrying about like undoing someone's changes, which is really great. But technically, it's just been really good as well. Just the lighting system's just amazing, really.
Yeah, it looks
We're off
great.
to a good start, agents.
When you step
Wish I
on
could've had
cars,
your
they
back out
wobble.
there. I think we make a hell of a team.
Notice
anyway.
that.
And all
When you
that's
get
just
back
stuff
to
we
the
hope to
base,
push even
we'll talk
more
to Candle,
as we go
and we'll
forward.
See what she can do for us.
But it has a lot of potential. It's still like an early stage for an engine, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, sure. Next question. This is completely off topic, I guess, but as a game dev, do you guys ever get like restricted based on consoles? Like as far as what you can do? Just because it's like, we know we can do this on a PC, but we have to make a game for consoles too?
It is definitely a benefactor in it. But one good thing about The Division is we've always considered the PC as a separate platform. I've worked on projects before that the PC versions are ports from a console, so it
Yeah.
carries that limitations over, but we've always been in the mind that we'll have a dedicated PC build, so it hasn't really held it back too much.
That's awesome.
We do have to kind of keep it in check with the consoles, because it'd kind of be unfair just to push it so far away from them all. But it's been good having a dedicated PC build for this game. Yeah, I'm really happy that we're pushing the PC build as much as we are. There's a lot more like customized options and stuff than the console.
Yeah, I noticed like even the graphics are mind-blowing on the PC.
It's actually great that we're given the option you can disable certain lighting aspects to improve frame rates in the console versions, which
Oh,
actually,
that's really cool.
I
I didn't know
don't-
that.
I don't know of another game that does that
Yeah,
off the top of my head.
That's awesome.
So if you want to choose frame rate over like visuals, you can if you want.
That's such a cool option. Was that in the beta for consoles?
I'm not sure if it's in the beta actually.
Do you have any Dark Zone pro tips figured out?
It's funny you should say that. We did have one that kind of backfired on the Twitch channel. When you put someone in a down state, it's best just to run up and like melee attack them.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. Is that,
Uh,
is that not supposed to happen?
No, it is actually, but it just means you save ammo.
Ah, okay.
But we announced it on the Twitch channel. We're like, this is a pro tip. So for the next half an hour, everyone just hunted us down, shot us, and shouted pro tip, and then used our pro tip against us.
That's awesome.
I don't blame them. It was kind of funny.
The internet.
Yeah, we got trolled massively, but
I noticed one that we saw was you could go up to someone and then if you wanted to make them go rogue, you could start shooting, but like miss your shots.
yeah,
They'd freak out and shoot you, and then they'd be the rogue.
yeah, that's a good tip as well. Or if you flashbang people quite near them without actually doing any damage to them, that sort of provokes the same reaction and sends them rogue.
Oh, that's smart.
So sometimes if you can see people just about to load up an extraction, you can just provoke them into becoming rogue, and then they get shot, drop the loot, and you haven't done anything too wrong, really. Yeah, the VoIP's good actually. I'm really happy we pushed that in like DayZ.
Yeah, it makes it like super realistic.
Yeah, you can really mess with people as well. It's really good.
Is there any way like we were kind of speculating this, but when you did a drop zone and you put your loot on the helicopter, it seemed like it was maybe like a minute or two, and then it would confirm that your loot was like arrived safely.
Yeah.
Does that mean that there's a potential for someone to like intercept that loot, or is that just like just a delay in the game for no reason?
I probably wouldn't say it's for no reason, but it is just a delay in the game, and
Okay.
just all the systems working and away. But yeah, nothing can happen, nothing can interrupt it once it's hooked on there. That's it going away, even if you die. So
Okay.
that's kind of what makes it quite tense at the moment. So.
Yeah.